had a big cash month and thought this is it, only to feel broke again 2 weeks later? Or maybe you've bought yet another shiny new tool or course or mastermind thinking this is the missing piece. Or maybe you've caught yourself saying, well, everyone else is doing it, so I should too, when you sign up for something. If any of those sound familiar, you might be in one of the earners leaking money roles. Today, we're going to dive into what those are and many shifts that you can make to choose a different role. Welcome back to Money Simplified. I'm your host, Amy Circa. We are in our money role series, and today we're pulling back the curtain on hidden roles that we play with money. These aren't who you are, they're just characters, roles that you've slipped into, and the best part is you can choose a new role at any time. So in this episode, we're talking about the category of money roles that I see are like their earners were leaking money. These things show up in everyday life, and there's small shifts that you can make to slip into something healthier. So let's dive into it. The first role that we want to talk about today is the earn and burn. This is when money comes in and disappears just as fast. So this might be the role that you're playing if you found yourself, you celebrate a new client, you got a big payment comes in, and then you go buy dinner, or you go buy a new laptop, or you're going to go buy new clothes. Or maybe your tax refund comes in and you spend it all within a week. You feel rich on payday, but then you're broke again 2 days later. Does that sound familiar? The mini shift that this earn and burn can make, and we're going to get to like the overall underlying patterns that we see and like true shifts that we can make for this category if you see yourself falling into one of these roles, okay? And remember, we can identify with multiple ones, and I've also even seen like in different areas of life we can slide into different roles because again, it's what we feel inside, okay? So if you're like, oh yeah, that's me, I definitely do that, money comes in and then I end up splurging, spending it just as fast, okay? The mini shift is you're going to funnel money into a savings or a profit account first. Small little bit, right? Start small. 5%, 10%, 1%, something. If you can have it done automatically, fantastic. Have it done automatically. The pro step here is put this account at a separate bank, because when you log into your main bank account, I don't want you to see it. It needs to be that one step removed, okay? If you can't do it automatically, ideally you've got a weekly check-in set up. Maybe your bookkeeper can do this for you as well if you have a bookkeeper. And if you don't and you're looking for one, hey, send me a message because I do have space for clients right now. So if you can't do it automatically, schedule it with your weekly check-in. Which we really should have a weekly check-in anyways, 1 day a week that you're checking in with your finances. When you check in with your finances, then transfer the money that's been deposited. You can also adjust, like if you use Stripe, PayPal, I'm not as sure. I always do PayPal manually, but like my Stripe payments, I've adjusted how often it hits my account. So then like I have all of the income for the week, like it's deposited once a week, and then I know how much to move out with my percentage-based budgeting. Regardless, you're going to make it a habit when money comes in, we funnel it before you spend anything, because if you wait to see what's left over, nothing's going to be left over. And you can start small. If this feels like money's too tight, I can't do this. Start with $25 a week. 5%. Percentage-based budgeting is the way to go. So I fall back on percentages. But start somewhere, okay? So that's the earn and burn. The next role that I see people falling into where we're leaking money is the upgrade chaser. And I've got a client that comes to mind with this one. Actually, I have clients that come to mind with most of these, but specifically this one. So the upgrade chaser loves new tools, gadgets, and courses. So here's some example. You bought software and you've never even logged into it, ever. Maybe you don't even know where the logins are. Or maybe you bought another course or that software subscription because it was on sale, right? You got the one-time deal. It was an AppSumo thing or really great what do we call those? Founders, like a founders thing, and you bought it, and because you didn't want to miss out, FOMO was showing up, and you end up that you purchase things, right? Or you subscribe to multiple email tools but only use one. Now I know that I laugh because there was a time that I fell into that with email tools because I had different things, like I was piecing together, so I was using like the landing pages from ConvertKit, but I was emailing with Aweber and some of those things. But if you find yourself doing that, you might be falling into the upgrade chaser. And there was a money role that I was falling into when I was doing that, but it was not this one actually. Okay, maybe you bought the next big course, the next thing, even though the ones that, like you already said, were gonna fix everything are still sitting unfinished. Now, I know I have courses that I haven't finished, but there's a difference between buying it because it's the upgrade, it's the next new thing, it's exciting, and not finishing right now because you know in your gut it's not time to finish it right now. So this is upgrading software or gear before mastering what you have. This could even be like hiring a VA, outsourcing before you're ready to. So if you were like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of resonates, I might be falling into the upgrade chaser. Or when you do, we're going to use this mini shift, okay? Before you're purchasing, ask yourself, will this help me use what I already have? The 24-hour rule will be a great thing for this money role, really all of these, but this money role specifically to implement. The 24-hour rule says you set a dollar limit. We'll say $100. If you're going to make a purchase that is above $100, you have to wait 24 hours to make it. This isn't like your groceries. This is any other purchases though. Unless you have already set the intention, because we're coming into the holiday season as we're recording this, right? If you set the intention, hey, I want to buy this season, and then it goes on sale, you set the intention beforehand, that's an exception. But otherwise, wait 24 hours. It forces you to sit with it and see if, are you buying it just out of emotion that you feel like you're missing out? You got to have that thing, that FOMO creeping in, or is it something that you truly want? You truly feel is a need. Okay? The next role that fits into this leaking money is the comparison spender. Now this is similar to the upgrade chaser, but the comparison spender buys just to keep up. So you're buying a mastermind because your peers did, or you want to feel connected. Like the people around you are all buying it and you buy because you want to feel connected, not because you need it and or because it aligns with your goals. This could be upgrading to business class or VIP because you like the way it looks, that you feel like the first class, you feel like the VIP, even though it wasn't in the budget. Comparison spenders probably aren't keeping track of their finances, so you might not have a budget in the first place. Or you're buying branding, photo shoots, the luxury things just because everyone in my industry is doing it. So why are we doing the things that we're doing? That's really what the comparison spender has to look at. Is this something that you truly want? Or is this something that you feel like everyone else is having, so you have to fit in? The mini shift for the comparison spender. Pick one expense. We're going to audit one expense that you have purchased. We're looking back on what we've already did. Is it truly serving you? Was it the best decision in the moment? Now the key here is going to be not sliding into beating yourself up. Because if we slide into beating ourselves up, then we're going to self-sabotage and we create a whole new set of problems. We're looking at it objectively without sliding into emotion. Okay? The fourth money role I wanted to cover today, these are the ones we end up that we're leaking money if we're doing this. This is the feast or famine feeler. This is the roller coaster income cycles. You've got $10,000 in revenue one month, you hit the 10K month, and then next month you're scraping by. But what you do with that is you're celebrating and you do the big shopping spree, you make the big purchase during the big months, but then you panic when there's not really revenue coming in. Or you paid off debt really aggressively one month because you had a great cash flow month, but then the next month you run the debt back up because the income wasn't there. This also could be not paying yourself, not paying yourself, not paying yourself, and then paying yourself, and then the business can't support it. We're going all over the place, right? And this feast or famine, the income roller coaster, like as entrepreneurs and even as W-2 employees, I've had this. Our income fluctuates. We have a little bit of the up and down. It's gonna happen. That inconsistent income, when you have the systems in place to support you, isn't a big deal. So the problem here with the feast or famine feeler is they're essentially looking at the revenue that's coming in as opposed to looking at the budget or the things that are in place that like help steady that out. Yes, the income might be going up, down, up, down, up, down, but you have the budget in place to level it out so that you're covered, you're safe, you're not going back into that panic, you're paying off the debt consistently, you're paying yourself consistently because it doesn't matter what's coming in, you have the percentage-based budgeting, you have the budget in place to support you. This takes a little bit to build, and the mini shift I have for this person is to build a buffer. Even if it's small, we got to start now, right? Like we have to set aside some of that money to help cover the lower income months. Percentage-based budgeting is absolutely the best place to do this. We talk about this inside Money Mastery Academy and the Unstoppable Experience. Both of them have my budgeting systems in there. So you've got Budgeting Simplified, which is the personal budgeting system, and Prosperity Simplified, which is the business budgeting system. And they work together to like make this seamless, remove the stress and the panic, all of those things for you. So I'll put a link in the show notes to check out that as well if you are ready to dive in. Prosperity Simplified might be available as a standalone, so I'll put that link in the show notes as well, and you can just grab the budgeting systems. Okay, that is the feast or famine feeler, and this one's so easy to fix. It really feels like it's so simple. When you have this system in place, it takes the burden off of you when you do this. Like, because this one, yeah. Okay, we're not going to go any farther. The final one we kind of talked about a little bit in our intro, or our final one for today. We kind of talked about in our intro, but it's the self-care spender. They use self-care or business growth to justify overspending. So, are you buying another course to, air quotes, fix yourself when you're already overloaded? Marketing and advertising is a billion dollar industry. It works, right? Great. There's nothing wrong with marketing and advertising, right? Shoot, I do it. Again, we could all like talk about the tactics behind it if we're doing that ethically, but are you letting somebody's marketing tell you that you're broken? That's not accurate. We don't need to buy another course to fix yourself, even though you've already got too much on your plate. Or are you buying treats or self-care items on rough days and then you end up regretting it? Maybe you're going to go get ice cream. Maybe you're Amazon spending. Maybe you're shopping, buying clothes, like stress spending, right? We talk a lot about that in the impulse spending series that I created. We can put that link in the show notes too. That's a free resource there for you. You can grab that one. So, or that late night shopping and just buying things because of the emotional state we're in, like that's a big thing. I think this is the two biggest things. It's the self-care and we're justifying it, right? Because it was a hard day or we have a lot going on. Now, or the business growth and the courses, okay? Let me put the caveat here on this. I am not saying that you should not spend money on yourself. You absolutely should, especially like even when money is tight. But we have the systems in place to not overspend. And we're looking at the root of this, okay? Are we emotionally motivated? Is that why we're overspending? Is it the stress shows up and this is our go-to that we're going to go do this, we're going to treat ourselves to this, we're going to do this, and it's like, we are avoiding the emotion. We have to look at the root cause of what's going on as well. What's the motive behind it? Okay. So the mini shift here would be to catch yourself once when you're going to go spend and you want to do something. What's something free or something that you already have that you can lean into for this self-care or the business growth? What is something you already have? Look at the library. Look at the things around the house. Do you have a candle? You can go light a candle, soak in the bath. Can you go take a walk? What's something that would rejuvenate you, restore you without spending additional now? Again, spending money on yourself isn't bad. We have to look at the motive behind it. And that's what the self-care spender's doing. It's like money is, it's an emotional support. It's not even support. It's emotional crutch. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And that's what we want to handle, because money is absolutely a tool, but we need to be able to use it in alignment. And things that we want to have, which we're kind of going back to some of the other ones, the purchases and the things that we're buying aren't necessarily bad. And I don't like the word good or bad, right? They're just choices. And if you've made these choices in the past, we are not beating ourselves up. This is about choosing something different and moving forward now. Looking at the root. Why are we doing the things that we're doing? And this can be challenging by yourself. That's why we have the support containers with inside Money Mastery Academy and the Unstoppable Experience. Like, that's why they're there. Is that I can support you while we uncover these things. Because when it's not this crutch that you're leaning on, that you're dependent on, it's so freeing. Okay. Those are the, let's see, we had 5, didn't we? 5 earners that spend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. So those 5 earners who are leaking money, and I'll run back through them here in just a second. But the underlying pattern beneath them all is there's no direction with the money. These people are probably some of the ones, or are some of the ones that come to me saying, like, it's not about the money for me. Like, I want to create the impact, because it's almost like we're afraid of the money. But money, again, is a tool. So when money comes in, we have to have that intentional direction. When we're in one of these roles, we're spending reactively. They're driven by emotions. We're not making clear choices. We're not being in control. So pick one money habit. We gave one for each of these roles. So pick one that's going to help you build the stability. Maybe it's making the transfer to savings or profit account before every time like you get paid. Maybe it's looking at the resources of what you already have. And almost like a mantra, a phrase really, that you can say to help center yourself when you find yourself sliding into one of these roles, as opposed to beating yourself up, right? Because I don't want you to beat yourself up. It's my money grows when I honor what I already have. My money grows when I honor what I already have. So often we're looking like we got to hit the next income goal. We got to hit this. We got to do this. We have to like keep reaching. I need this next thing. And that gratitude and honoring and taking care of what we have now, that sets you up. And then your money does grow. It's amazing. It's exponential. We love it. But we're going to honor what we already have. Okay? You don't have to keep leaking money. You get to choose a role where money sticks and grows. Remember, the role that you're playing with money isn't permanent. You get to choose a new role right now. And if you want support in making that shift, I would grab your free copy of my Money Mindset Playbook, because your money role and your money mindset go hand in hand. The playbook's going to help you uncover and reset the beliefs that are shaping your money story. That'll be amycirca.com/mindset. You'll also find that link in the show notes. Make sure to stay tuned, because we have 3 more categories where we have so many roles that we're going to go into over the next 3 weeks. And then we're going to talk about the money role that we are aspiring to have and how to choose that role to be unstoppable. And as always, you get to choose the role that you play with money. So we're going to choose a role that supports you. That's what I've got for now. We'll see you next time.